Have you ever heard the saying, "What goes around comes around"? It's a powerful idea suggesting that our actions, whether good or bad, eventually return to us. Today, we're diving into an ancient tale that brings this very concept to life in the most dramatic way possible. It's the story of Androcles and the lion, a timeless fable that explores the incredible power of kindness and the unexpected bonds that can form between the most unlikely of friends. So get comfortable, because this story, passed down through generations, has a lesson that is just as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago. Our story begins in the vast Roman Empire, a place of great power and great cruelty. In this world lived a man named Androcles. He wasn't a soldier or a senator. He was a slave, bound to a master who was known for his harshness. Androcles' days were long and filled with grueling labor, and his nights offered little rest. His master was a man of cold heart and quick temper, and Androcles bore the brunt of his cruelty. The smallest mistake would be met with a whip, and a kind word was a currency rarer than gold. Life was a bleak, endless cycle of fear and exhaustion. One day, after a particularly brutal punishment for a minor offense, something inside Androcles snapped. He looked out towards the distant hills, a place of wilderness and uncertainty, and saw not danger, but a chance for freedom. The thought of another day under his master as thumb was more terrifying than any beast that might lurk in the forest. So, under the cloak of darkness, Androcles made his escape. He ran, his heart pounding in his chest, not just from exertion, but from a mix of terror and exhilarating hope. He didn't look back, pushing deeper and deeper into the wild, leaving the world he knew behind for a future he couldn't yet imagine. For days, Androcles wandered through the dense forest. The freedom he craved came with its own set of challenges. Hunger gnawed at his belly, and the sounds of the wilderness at night filled him with a primal fear. He survived on wild berries and whatever roots he could find, his fine city clothes now tattered rags. He found shelter in a cave, a dark, hollowed-out space in the side of a rocky hill. It wasn't much, but it was a refuge from the elements and, he hoped, from any soldiers his master might have sent after him. Exhausted and alone, he curled up in the darkness, the cold stone a stark reminder of his solitude. Suddenly, a sound from the mouth of the cave startled him. It was a low, deep growl, a sound that sent a shiver of pure terror down his spine. Peeking out from his hiding spot, he saw the silhouette of a massive creature blocking the entrance. It was a lion, the undisputed king of the forest. Androcles' blood ran cold. He had traded one form of certain death for another. He was trapped. There was nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. He squeezed his eyes shut, bracing for the inevitable, his brief taste of freedom about to end in the jaws of a predator, but the attack never came. Cautiously, Androcles opened his eyes again. The lion hadn't pounced. Instead, it was limping, whining softly, a sound not of aggression, but of pure agony. It held up one of its massive paws and let out a piteous groan. Androcles' fear began to mix with a sense of curiosity and, strangely, pity. This fearsome beast was in pain. Forgetting his own safety for a moment, he crept closer. The lion watched him, its large, amber eyes filled with suffering, but it made no move to harm him. It seemed to understand that Androcles was not a threat. Gathering all his courage, Androcles knelt before the great animal. He gently took the lion's paw in his hands. The paw was swollen and inflamed, and embedded deep within the soft pad was a huge, wicked-looking thorn. Every slight movement the lion made must have sent waves of excruciating pain through its body. Androcles knew what he had to do. He looked into the lion's eyes, speaking to it in a soft, soothing voice, as if trying to calm a frightened child. "Hold still, big friend," he whispered. "Let me help you." With a firm, steady hand, Androcles gripped the end of the thorn. The lion let out a roar, but it was a roar of pain, not anger. It held its ground, trusting this strange, two-legged creature. With a final, sharp tug, Androcles pulled the thorn free. Blood and pus oozed from the wound. The lion let out a sigh of immense relief. The source of its torment was gone. Androcles then carefully cleaned the wound as best he could with leaves and water from a nearby stream. From that day forward, an extraordinary friendship blossomed. The lion, in its gratitude, became Androcles' protector and companion. It would hunt for him, bringing back fresh meats so he no longer had to survive on berries. At night, it would sleep at the entrance of the cave, its powerful presence a guard against any other dangers the forest might hold. Androcles, in turn, would groom the lion's magnificent mane and talk to it for hours, sharing his hopes and fears. They were an odd pair, the runaway slave and the king of beasts, two souls who had found comfort and companionship in the heart of the wilderness. For a time, Androcles was truly happy, but this peaceful existence was not destined to last. One day, a patrol of Roman soldiers, scouring the forest for fugitives, stumbled upon the cave. Before the lion could intervene, they captured Androcles. His brief period of freedom was over. He was dragged back to the city in chains, his heart heavy with the loss of his friend and the grim reality of his fate. His former master, enraged by his escape, demanded the harshest punishment. Androcles was condemned to death in the grand arena, the Colosseum. His sentence, to be thrown to a hungry lion for the entertainment of the roaring crowds. The day of his execution arrived. Androcles was led from his dark cell into the blinding sunlight of the arena. The stands were packed with thousands of spectators, all eagerly awaiting the gruesome spectacle. The emperor himself was present, seated in his imperial box. A hush fell over the crowd as a gate at the far end of the arena was raised. A huge, ferocious lion, starved for days to make it more aggressive, bounded into the sandy enclosure. It let out a deafening roar that echoed through the stadium, its eyes fixed on the lone, defenseless man in the center. Androcles closed his eyes, accepting his fate. He thought of his friend in the forest and whispered a silent goodbye. The lion charged, its powerful legs eating up the distance between them. The crowd roared in anticipation, but then something incredible happened. As the lion got closer, it suddenly slowed its charge. It stopped just feet from Androcles, its head cocked to one side. It sniffed the air, and then, instead of pouncing, it began to whine softly. It was a familiar sound, a sound of recognition. Androcles opened his eyes and stared in disbelief. This was not just any lion. This was his lion, his friend from the forest. The great beast padded forward and began to lick Androcles' hands, purring like a giant house cat. It rubbed its massive head against his legs, overjoyed to be reunited with the man who had shown it kindness. The crowd fell into a stunned silence. The bloodthirsty spectacle they had come to see had turned into a touching reunion. They had never witnessed anything like it. The emperor, utterly baffled, summoned Androcles to his box. "How is this possible?" he demanded. "How did you tame this savage beast?" Standing before the most powerful man in the world, Androcles recounted his story. He told of his cruel master, his escape into the forest, and how he had found the lion in agony and removed the thorn from its paw. He explained how the lion had become his friend and protector. The entire Colosseum listened, captivated. When Androcles finished his tale, the emperor was deeply moved. He saw before him not just a slave, but a man whose compassion had earned him the loyalty of the fiercest of animals. The story was a testament to a power greater than any sword or army, the power of kindness. In an unprecedented act of clemency, the emperor declared, "A man who can befriend a lion deserves his freedom." He ordered that Androcles be set free immediately. And not only that, he also decreed that the lion should be freed as well, to be given to Androcles as his companion. And so, Androcles walked out of the Colosseum not as a condemned man, but as a free one, with his loyal lion walking faithfully by his side. The story of their incredible bond spread throughout Rome and beyond, becoming a legend that would be told for centuries. It serves as a powerful reminder that no act of kindness, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, is ever wasted. It can forge the most unlikely friendships and, as in the case of Androcles, it can even save a life. The echo of that simple act of pulling a thorn from a paw reverberated to change his destiny forever. What goes around truly does come around. Thank you so much for joining me for this incredible story today. If you enjoyed this tale and the lesson it holds, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more stories that inspire and make us think. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, remember to be kind. You never know whose life you might change.